Okay, folks. A little bit of multitasking today. Had to move bikes away from the drill press for obvious reasons. And we're making a whole bunch of these brackets for a construction company. And they come off of that big chunk. And then they get drilled for clearance for quarter 20. I think there's going to be some quarter 20. What's going on there? Did I drill that? Oh, there's a burr. I got to deburr them too. I think there's going to be a 1/4 inch timber lock that goes through all these. The black one. The gray ones, I have some sample gray ones, but they're not the right size. And I made some of these before, and they had to be the size above 1/4 inch, which is 9/32. So I bought a couple of 9/32 drill bits. There's a new one there. There's one in here. This is the stamping area. Anyway, let's set one up. We're gonna cut one. I'll put you on time lapse, and I'll drink my ginger lemon tea. Yummy. And we got to work on a bike at the same time. This should be quite interesting. I'd like to fix this flat on one of my little gravel bike specials. So I'm going to set you up. We're going to cut that. We're going to drill. We're going to center punch it. And you'll see the whole deal. Yeah, isn't this exciting? Extreme multitasking. Now, they say that men in particular, I don't know where they got this from, but men aren't very good multitaskers. I beg to differ. Anyway, we're going to make a video and do some machining and metal work. Well, drilling. And we're going to fix this flat on that Continental over there. Okay. I'll see you in a minute, and you can listen to some there's been some complaints about the music, so I think I'm going to put on some classical for you this time. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, well, we got 7 of these made. Well, they got to be chamfered and deburred and painted. Well, we need 8 today. I think I'm gonna just figure it out from there. Now, if you noticed, that tube that came out of here was a longer reach 700C Presta. The valve stem was longer, and this one's really close to not working. I think if I do go out riding around, I'll definitely bring one of these with me in my pocket or something. The only way to fill it, I don't think this pump or a pump will actually go on there. It's too tight. It's way too tight. Yeah, it just barely worked. And we'll see how that works. Seems to be holding air. There's no way for me to check the pressure. I don't have a pressure gauge. The only pressure gauge I have for Presta is built into this pump. I'm just kind of eyeballing it. It feels like 75 pounds or so. It's in there. The brim isn't exactly super straight. We're okay. I've bonsai'd this bike pretty hard. I did check this other tube, and it's the same old crud. There's nothing on the rim that caused this. I checked it. Well, I looked at it. And I'll show you where it's leaking. And of course, it's leaking right near this seam here. And I don't think there was anything in the rim to cause that. This rim especially, the way the spokes are inset, it's a deep dish rim, and there's just tape on there, you know, to protect it. The spoke heads don't even go through that, and that's too small to be a spoke head rub. And it's just right. Let me put a mark on it for you. It's just right on the stupid seam. I've had some cheap tubes like this in the past. Yeah, it's right there. I mean, do I patch it? I don't know. I don't know if you can patch it on that rib section. It's just a really cheap tube made by the Concord company. And what did I replace it with? Another really cheap tube made by the Concord company. Okay, Concord execs, you guys suck. Got to do better than that. I have like 3 rides on this. Granted, you know, where I take these Continentals and 10 speeds. Well, that's a 1 speed now, but where I take these bikes is not exactly what Ignis Schwinn would, let's just say they're not really designed for what I use them for. But it shouldn't have failed that soon. I mean, that tube, I could look back on the videos when I was building this bike or messing with it, when I put the rack on it. Probably, yeah, maybe 6 months ago when I rode it after the hurricane, and then it sat in the basement until about a month ago, and I realized the tubes were flat, defective. They just rot. I don't know what happened, so I replaced them, and now that tube's probably 3 months old. Yeah. Okay, well, we got one more to cut here, and we got to de-chamfer. We got to chamfer all those holes, and after we chamfer them, we're going to make absolutely sure that a 1/4 bolt will go through there. Well, it's going to be a timber lock, but it's the same deal, because we don't want any problems. We want every hole to go through. I got to cut one more. I got to drill that. I got to deburr all these, and I got to paint them, and that all has to happen before tomorrow morning. Okay, I gotta clean up this mess so I don't get a flat. You know, because it's gonna be a bummer if you get a flat while you're fixing a flat, while you're drilling holes. Yeah, kind of tight in here. Okay, hey, you guys, let me know what you want me to work on next. This one's done. This little purple devil's going to be for sale. It doesn't need any work. Do you want me to finish this traveler out here, you got your vote now. This is your big vote. Yeah. We can keep working on this traveler, which is right here. Or we could put tubes in this, because these tubes are no good. And I want to sell this bike too. And I might change the emblem, although that's date coded for this bike. So I might include that emblem with it. This is a nice bike. It's like a 75 or 6. I forget exactly. This is a Speedster, and I'm going to sell this bike. So it's either going to be working on this blue Speedster or finishing this 63 Traveler, which needs a little more work. And I do have a nice faded, moldy white seat and grips. It should, you know, I'm tempted to put that seat in the dishwasher. what do you guys think of that one, huh? Okay, back to work. There's no more real bike work today. We did multitask, and guys are supposed to be really terrible at that, but we did it. And this is what it looks like when you have the proper. Well, that one's really long. There's no way to put the nut on that. Oh well. Yeah, you know, I think there's going to be some thorn-proof 700C pressed tubes in my future. And you get what you pay for. These are like $3.80 at Walmart. So buyer beware. You know, what did I do? I put the exact one back in. Great. Okay, as always, keep it positive. You know, it's the good people in the world that are making the world be good. So, you know, be good. Okay. We managed to make 8 of these. 5.5. 5.5 wide. Like a 4-inch angle or something. There's 8 of them. And we're going to kind of shove them. They're still a little tacky. That's why all this cardboard is in between these. Just trying to figure it all out. There we go. That'll work. They can kind of dry overnight in this box. And they'll be ready to go tomorrow. Probably should put my boots inside the cab so they don't get wet. Anyway, those are done. And I gotta make a whole bunch more, but what I did was I quickly made the 8 they needed. So I can go put them on tomorrow. So, because I can do these brackets during the weekend, and when they're not working, those guys don't work on the weekend, but I do. I can do the rest of those on the weekend, and I can get some hours in tomorrow. And the gentleman there, I don't think I can do any videos there, but he wants some custom brackets made for this porch they're doing too, and that's not going to be cheap. I'll do it out of this 4-inch plate here. I might even bring this along to show him what the 4-inch plate looks like. He probably wants some special. I think he wants some like special bend with a rod in it or something. I'll steer him towards the fancy stuff. You know how I am. Quality. We have standards here. Okay, so we fixed that tube. It was a little short on the stem part, but it's done. Seems to be holding air. Yeah, there's no way for me to check the pressure because I can't hook my regular bike tube pump on it. So, you guys have a vote. This one doesn't really need any work. That's going to be on the block pretty soon. It's a 67 Deluxe Breeze in the violet color with violet grips and all the reflectors and bells and whistles and original tires. That will be on Shopify or eBay. I haven't decided yet. Or you can make me an offer before I put it on. It is really nice. A few chips. That's going to go. Anyway, so on the bikes, I'm going to keep this one. But it's your vote. Should we work on this Speedster that I'm going to sell? It needs tubes and find some pedals. The light does work. Kind of cool. Yeah. It's a 76 or a 75. I couldn't remember. I think it's a 76 Speedster. And should we work on that next? Put new tubes in it and put it on the auction block? Or should we just stick to true and fix up this Traveler that's probably not going to be for sale, because I have a thing for Travelers. Anyway, so vote down below. This is kind of a day in the life of multitasking, because I'm proving people that men can multitask. Anyway, all these had to be moved out, most of them, so I could use the drill press, and then I had to clean all the shavings up, and then they all had to come back in. Anyway, there's a whole thing behind that. We're getting Frontier. We're getting Frontier fiber optic, so that will allow me to do some live feeds out here without the choppiness. The connection speeds will be wonderful, and I'll be able to do live feeds right here. So stay tuned. It's 90% there. The trenching guys came and put the cable in, and hence me having to take about 20 bikes out of the basement so they could get in there, and they had to get in there. So I didn't want them knocking a bunch of stuff over. The people running those trenching machines looked like, well, they looked like they weren't the sharpest tool in the shed. Hey, I ran a trencher machine before. I understand. Okay. Maybe they're smarter than they look. Okay, so yeah, let's vote. Should I work on the Speedster, or should I work on this 63 Traveler that needs a lot more than this Speedster? It's just tubes. What do you guys want me to do next? Besides going and working and trying to sell some fancy brackets to people. That's going to happen. So on the bike thing, you have a vote. The other stuff you don't. Okay, so peace out, and look at these beauties. Huffy! Oh no! Tighten it up and go.